Thank you for joining us for today's Google Workspace webinar. We are going to talk about a mid-year cleanup of your Google Workspace account, focusing on Google Drive and Gmail. And this cleanup commitment will take you no more than 5 minutes unless you really love to dig deep and want to go bigger. So let's dive right in and take a peek at how we might get started. Within your drive, along your left-hand navigation, you can click on Storage. At the top, then you'll see some of the services that are using your storage, and in particular today, we'll be focusing on a Drive and Gmail. If you really want to know the ins and outs of how storage works, you can go up and click on the question mark icon and then select Help. It'll give you a nice list of resources that will point you towards learning more about how storage works with Google, how you could manage it, and then, of course, even some ideas around things like deleting files to help clean things up. So that'll be my first hint for you once you've viewed what's taking up storage. At the top, we can start to look on the list that follows to see those items in our account that are taking up lots of space. As we see those items, like maybe this outdated PowerPoint that I'm no longer using, we can simply click to highlight that item and then click and drag to move that item into trash. So, of course, we always want to affirm that that item truly won't be needed, that other people may not need it. But in this case, I'd already done the pre-work to know that that one wasn't going to be useful. I can go ahead and choose to move it to trash. I could go in and manually take out the trash, or I can just simply do that click and drag, and 30 days from now, that item will get permanently deleted out of the trash bin. As you go through and clean up your drive a little bit, then you can cruise on over after a couple of minutes to check out your Gmail account. And there's a couple of things that can really tidy up your Gmail account. And it won't just be about putting things in the trash, although certainly that can help you stay clean. One thing I might do in Gmail to focus on tidying up maybe some of the largest items is to click into the advanced search. And from here, we can search by size of file. And so maybe I just kind of go in and search for things, based on a certain size that you think you might want to target. So um, I have a few items here that are a little bit bigger than the others, and perhaps, some of them are just like this one says it's just for fun. I can go in, um, take a quick look at that item. Oh, those are some great teammates, but maybe that item isn't something I need to save and hold on to anymore. I can delete it then. And again, we'll see that item then permanently gone 30 days later from our trash bin. So feel free to peruse, and you can select multiple items and then trash them, or you could even select a broader curation of items too if you needed to. Right now I've got just a couple, but I could say maybe everything that I'm seeing in this particular view, all 8 of the messages could go into trash. So whatever works the easiest for you, but that's a real quick way to clean up a bit, save yourself some space, and move forward. A few final hints to keep yourself tidy going forward include considering that label list you have going. For some of you, maybe it's a short and sweet list, no big deal. But if you're like me, this list can grow really long, really fast. And sometimes there's certain things, like maybe I'm no longer involved with this project team. I want to keep the label around, but I don't need to see it in that label list sidebar. So I can just say, let's just view it if there's unread items, or let's hide it all together, just so that I'm really seeing those labels I'm truly using most often and that I want to be applying to active messages to keep myself organized going forward. After some tidying of the labels, you may want to spend just a moment or two more hopping back in and spot checking some of your settings. You can do a deeper label clean underneath the labels option. And now might be a great time to set aside a couple minutes to double check the filters you've established and edit or delete out any of those you may not need as well, just to keep yourself organized moving forward. I encourage you to not make this too big of a time effort, but just having that clean sweep of your Drive and your Gmail periodically will help you save space, but also make it just a little bit easier to find those things that are most useful and most critical for you going forward. Thanks for joining our webinar. We look forward to seeing you again in a future edition. If you do have any questions on the session that you saw today, you can reach out to us at collaborationtraining@pythian.com.